Hello, everybody. We are today with Jennifer from the Connecticut Restaurant Association, and Jennifer is our education manager. So with that, Jennifer oversees our ServSafe program. Most of you have probably spoken with her or emailed with her at some point. ServSafe has, from the very beginning of COVID, provided many resources, many free resources, training videos, and other things that they've also added as we've gone along in the past couple months. So really wanted to speak with Jennifer today to go over some of those resources and trainings that are available, but then also to talk about what you need as a restaurant in Connecticut as far as your ServSafe certifications and how you can find that information on our website and to register for those classes. So Jennifer, we're so happy to have you here today. Would you give us an overview of where the information can be found and what's available to our Connecticut restaurants?
Great, thank you, Yvette. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to share a little bit more about ServSafe and the different resources that ServSafe has created for restaurants, both in Connecticut and across the country during this pandemic. Everything can be found on our website, which is ctrestaurant.org. And we have two main links that you're going to want to look for, the Reopen CT and industry training. So you're going to find everything you need in both of those spots. So we'll go to our Reopen CT to start. This is a page that you will see and be able to find any updated COVID-19 resources that you might want to find. As far as ServSafe goes, we've got our free COVID-19 training link here. So you can click right here. And this goes over, there's 4 different courses that ServSafe has created over the course of the pandemic. Back in March, when restaurants first shut down, they came out with ServSafe takeout and delivery, as that was a primary focus, and wanting to be sure that restaurants had proper guidelines and knew the best ways to provide takeout and delivery in a safe environment. In May, April, in some states, but specifically for Connecticut, in May, when the reopening guidelines came out regarding both outdoor and indoor dining, ServSafe came out with a reopening guidelines. And in this one, you will be able to find, scroll down here, knowing symptoms, preventing the spread, specifically guidelines for cleaning, sanitizing, and disinfecting is very important. So you can find those guidelines in this reopening guidelines video. And then just last week, ServSafe came out with a conflict de-escalation video. And this is dealing with how to stay calm when you may be dealing with customers or employees who are, I would say, agitated, and whether they don't want to wear masks or don't want to follow guidelines, and how you and your employees can help mitigate those situations. So those are the 4 videos, free videos that ServSafe has come out with, and you can register for any of them. I'll click here. This actually brings you to one page where they're all available, both in English and Spanish. They're all about 10 minutes long. Highly recommend them for all of your employees. De-escalation, certainly for managers, I think would be very important, but it's free to everyone, so you can download all of those. So those are the
That's great. Jennifer, I was just going to ask you, those are free for everyone.
Correct.
And, really great that ServSafe has been able to kind of look at what's happening in the industry and then create some guidelines and some, these trainings around that. That de-escalation, unfortunately, is an issue that, we face right now. So it's great that that's available.
Yeah, they're really looking at, what's the environment that the restaurants are working in and seeing the needs that are there and working to provide that for them. The one thing I mentioned was the cleaning and sanitizing portion of the reopening guidelines. And as the state guidelines for reopening your restaurant includes that the certified food protection manager is also your safety person on location. So you want to make sure that you have your certified food protection manager certification updated. So, and that certification is achieved through ServSafe Manager. So that's, most restaurants, well, all restaurants should already have one, and make sure that they are up to date and certified. The certifications do last for 5 years, but they lapse. And so Health departments will come around making sure that people are updated.
And Jennifer, I know you're going to show us this, but will you show
Yep.
us where they can register for?
Absolutely. So we'll go back to our main page.
Perfect.
And we'll go to industry training. And you'll find here all of the ServSafe offerings that we have. So like everything, we shut down in March and weren't able to host any in-person classes, which is pretty much what we had been doing, offering one in-person class every Monday for the past 20 years. So that kind of came to a crashing halt. The good thing was that ServSafe immediately went into action to begin promoting their online offerings, created the opportunity for people to take the exam at home, which took a little bit of work to get those certifications and everything above board to make sure that we were using the right services so that everything was legitimate. But since then, we have starting at the end of July, we started back with in-person classes again. And I'm happy to say that we have a full schedule now through December of offering at least 2 classes a month with up to about 20 students. So I'm wanting to make sure that there's social distancing and people can feel comfortable in that environment. If people still aren't comfortable being in class, we still offer the online course. And there's 2 different testing options. You can come to our office in Farmington, and usually there's somewhere between 1 and 5 people, no more than 5 people at any time, with masks on. You bring your own device and you take the course online with me proctoring it. The other option is to take it at home. You do need to have a laptop with webcam and mic, and you would be proctored through a third-party system called ProctorU. And you schedule the exam directly through them. All 3 options are accepted by the state, so they're all equal. It's really what your comfort level is and what you feel like you need in order to pass the test and get certified.
And Jennifer, it looks like that people can click those buttons that you have there to register for those. And I think that's also if they go just directly to our regular ServSafe page.
Correct. Yep.
Just, making sure that it's clear if you're taking an in-person class or if you're doing the, at home with the in-person proctoring. There are multiple options, which is really great. Everybody has a different comfort level or different, availability. So it's really great that there's those different options that are available.
Yeah, so especially in this time, we do want to make sure our restaurants are up to date as much as possible, and making sure that they are aware of the new food code. There's new temps, there's new requirements. There's current regulations at the state level that are pending, which will require people to have a certified food protection manager during every shift. So that's important that people make sure that they're following those guidelines. The regs could get adopted at any time, so you don't want to get caught without the right certifications. And then I can click here just to show you here. This brings you to our full event page, so you'd be able to see all of the different options. So for example, when you see here where it says online course and in-person exam, that means you're going to take the course online at home, which is a series of videos. They take about 8 to 10 hours to get through, but you take it at your own pace. And then you'd come to the in-person exam, which is the exam in Farmington, where you see October 5th, we have an in-person class with the exam. So that's an actual live in-person class with one of our instructors that are phenomenal. They have about a 90% pass rate when people take their class. So they definitely help prepare people and answer any questions that you have. So those are the in-person. And then at the end of the month, I have the registrations for the Take It Home exam and then the online course with Take Exam at Home. So this is where you'd find where to register for those. I'll click here and you'll see where it says 4 o'clock, but the date on your registration is not your exam date. You schedule that on your own through ProctorU.
Okay. So it's
just a processing on the last day of the month.
Yep, and it's great that there's all these different options and very clear, so you can see right in when you click on the date, it shows what type of exam they're taking, whether it's online or in person. Can you
I've tried to make it as clear as possible, but if people have any questions, right here, servsafe@ctrestaurant.org is the best way to reach me. We are still working both in office and from home, so email is definitely the best way to get in touch and receive the quickest response.
Jennifer, can you show us again? So if somebody were on our landing page, on our homepage, ctrestaurant.org, how would they get to that calendar to register for the ServSafe classes?
So they can go to, you can go to any of the ServSafe pages, register here, and it's going to bring you right to the event calendar.
Perfect. And then when they click on any of those in blue, any of the events or courses, that's going to take them right to the registration page, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about, I know that ServSafe, that we do offer special pricing for CRA members. Could you please talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So our CRA members receive a $20 discount on ServSafe Manager. So it's normally $170, and both our online and in-person classes are $150 for our CRA members. And then we have a few other products. Back through here.
And do they just, when they're checking out, they just have to identify if they're a CRA member to get that discount?
Yeah, there's two different options. So you can choose CRA member or a non-member.
Okay.
So there's no special code. We just look at it, and and they just select the right option. We do have a few other products, including ServSafe Food Handler, which is a 90-minute online course, which would be fantastic for all employees to take. A very basic intro to food safety practices. And ServSafe Handler is 10% off for CRA members. You just need to email me to get that code, as well as ServSafe Alcohol, Workplace, and Allergen. Our CRA members also receive a 10% discount on any of those products.
Great. There's so much that's available through ServSafe, Jennifer. This is really helpful. And you mentioned the best way to reach you, or if there's any questions, is just servsafe@ctrestaurant.org, correct?
Correct, yes.
And then again, to get the information about the courses, just go to ctrestaurant.org. And as Jennifer showed you, there's various ways to get to, access different information about the trainings, the free videos, and then to register for ServSafe certification. So best place is just to start right there at ctrestaurant.org. And again, to reach Jennifer if you have questions, servsafe@ctrestaurant.org. Jennifer, did we cover everything? Was there anything else that you wanted to share with everyone today?
I think that's the big things.
Got it all?
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot. And
it is a lot.
what you've also been a tremendous support to restaurants going through this and clarifying, because it can be very confusing. So we appreciate having you to help restaurants kind of figure out what they need to know, but also sharing the information about these free resources. That's really incredible. So Jennifer, we appreciate everything that you're doing with ServSafe, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Yvette.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.